honestly, before you ever decide to use the rest of your life with a guy, you need to know whether or not he has humbled and submitted his own ego to God. And he can be religious, right? He can be super religious, but if he hasn't submitted his ego to God, yeah, you've got a problem. You've got a problem. Because essentially he has used religion and spirituality, which a lot of very, very, very religious men they do, is that rather than doing the shadow work and the humbling and surrendering their ego in all its aspects to the divine, they're using religion to act superior, to act holier than thou, to judge, to look down upon. And it's actually a really fucking scary trait to have. Because in his mind, he is the perfect embodiment of holiness. When in actuality, his ego hasn't surrendered and submitted itself to God, to the divine, to source, to infinite, hasn't submitted itself. Because bowing your ego down to God, that means that you are humble when you're wrong, right? And if he's not that to you, then honestly, it's actually it's fucked up. It's actually really fucked up, right? Because you have to understand whether or not he's able to say, look, I hurt you, yeah, that was on me, right? Even on small shit, even on small things. If he can't say, look, I fucked up here, I'm sorry, and you know what, I'll improve. And then he tries to do his best. Bro, if he ain't doing that shit, and he's always using religion to justify his behavior and toxicity, bro, this guy has just used religion as a mask, and it's so crazy. You've got so many religious men, super religious men with such fucked up egos, right? Such fucked up egos, like it's actually fucking crazy. And that's because, society and, I guess certain institutions, they support that ideology. Well, they support them having it, communities, and it's just crazy. But it's a trait that you have to look out for, honestly. You have to honestly look out for that, whether he's able to fully submit look at how he talks about God, right? Look at the view, the way that he looks at God. If he always perceives God as, something that he can use for his own empowerment and these elements, rather than him submitting his mistakes, submitting his ego, submitting the worst parts of himself to God and accepting his mistakes, yeah, he ain't good for you, baby.